Welcome, bounty hunters and Star Wars fans alike. It is your favorite Star Wars Monday night show. All Fetts are off. It is I, Jason the Tuscan Toast, in beautiful Miami, Florida. And with me, as always, is my primo, Brian, the charismatic Carillion in San Antonio, Texas. Brian, it's a new year. Happy New Year, man.
Happy New Year.
We have a new year.
Toast.
We have a new year. We have a new president. A lot's happened since we've last been on the show, man.
Tons happened since we've last been on the show.
Tons.
We haven't been on in a little bit.
Yeah.
Today we're gonna do an abbreviated version of 30 minutes today. We do work hard at bringing you guys content usually, but we've had a lot going on the last 3 weeks or so. So this is something that we do outside of our normal routines. So when we have to break off, it's we of course have our normal routine sometimes run into our showtime, so that's what's been taking place here. But we work at it to get to you guys as often as we can, as best we can.
And it's okay because we had a really busy holiday. We did a couple of back-to-backs.
We did 2 shows Thanksgiving. We did 2 shows Christmas.
Oh yeah, we had a really busy 2020 holiday. We capped off a really difficult year. On a high note. I mean, we had my dad on. It was great. He gave us some insight on how he felt and the way he experienced Star Wars.
And that was really cool. That was one of his take on the crawl was one of the funniest things I've heard.
Oh yeah,
Star Wars experience. Like,
did I miss something? What was this?
that was classic. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've asked a lot of people a lot of things about the crawl, and that was an absolute I'm telling you, it was an absolute first. I mean, never have I heard it described in such a fashion. Just classic.
Yeah, it had never been done up to that point. I mean, no one had ever done an opening crawl like that in a movie like that, like Star Wars.
Which that's what made his description all the more, I mean, if you want to use accurate, but I mean, just that's you'd almost expect from someone who sat there and saw the crawl for the first time.
Yeah, it's incredible to hear it. But you know what? That's all the time when you talk to my dad. And for those of you that were lucky enough to catch the show or even went back and saw it later on, my dad has seen a lot of things in his life. I call him the Forrest Gump of sports. I mean, he's seen a lot of sports, big time sporting events live. So. It's great to just kind of sit and then you watch something and he tells you, oh, I was there, oh, I saw it. The biggest thing that he told me was when Rudy the movie came out, with what was it, Frodo Baggins' friend, what's his name?
Sean Astin.
Yeah, it was Sean Astin. And so
the character has a name.
Yeah, whatever. I'm not into Lord of the Rings.
I know you have issues with this with Star Wars. So I mean.
But he, the movie came out in the 90s and they showed a trailer on TV, and then my dad and I were there at the house and he was like, oh, I was at that game, like just casually. And I was like, you were there? He was like, yeah, I was at that game. This is a Rudy game. And he told me the whole premise of the movie before I even knew what was going on. But yeah, he was at that game when everyone started training Rudy. And he told me all about it. And then, I asked him, after I saw the movie, I said, did you know what you were chanting for? Well, yeah, the word had made its way up to the students section as to who he was and why everyone was chanting. But yeah, he was there. It's incredible to hear the story after seeing it in the big screen like that, and something so memorable or remarkable in college football lore. But that's great, but that's him all the time. So if we could have him on the show more, that'd be great. But he's he's over there in your neck of the woods. So, but yeah, that was a really good holiday weekend, and now we're kind of gearing up. In the Marine Corps, we call this back in the saddle because a lot of people go on leave. A lot of Marines are gone, and it's just kind of a weird time right after Halloween because you start getting into Thanksgiving and people are traveling, and then people take a lot of leave, and then you don't know what's going on, and then once New Year's is over, everybody comes back. Yeah, and then you do what's called back in the saddle, and you do all sorts of training, and you just kind of reset and get ready for another grueling year. But yeah, well, I guess we're just kind of doing the exact same thing right now, which is fine. We've had a lot come up. I mean, there's tons to talk about. It's not like that we have a lack of content.
No.
Yeah, just so much is going on in the Star Wars universe, and not just the Star Wars universe, but in the Disney Plus and HBO Max universe as well. Because I kind of feel our show has kind of transitioned a little bit to not just Star Wars, but some of this other media that is coming about because of the ability to stream all these different franchises.
Well, Wonder Woman came to HBO Max.
Yeah.
And
yeah, it did.
All I'm gonna say is it was a disaster. But I mean, that's all I'm gonna say. I believe that I now have legitimate concerns for Rogue Squadron in 2023.
Just because of the director.
But yeah. But did I say but?
You might have mentioned it a couple times.
Lo and behold, not so long after the disaster on HBO Max with Wonder Woman 84, not so long after that, does Lucasfilm announce that they are going to be more hands-on with Rogue Squadron now, and not just completely up to what I once thought was the creative skill of Patty Jenkins. So that's changed a little bit.
Well, what I think that Wonder Woman 84 really suffered from was story. It really wasn't acting. It had some really good actors. I think Gal Gadot is a great Wonder Woman. I think that
isn't it Gadot? It's not Gadot.
I don't know. I mean, if I'm pronouncing if I'm pronouncing
I figured you didn't know. It's all right.
Gadot. Okay, I'm pronouncing it wrong. I'm not Israeli. I'm sorry.
Gail Gadot.
Gail Gadot. There you go.
Gail Gadot.
Okay, so there. Now I have been duly corrected.
I mean, it could be Gadot.
That's just what I've heard.
I could see where that's possibly silent.
Dude, I don't spend my afternoons on E! News. Okay, I spend it on Fox News.
How unfortunate. So,
I mean, I got to laugh throughout the day. So yeah, I put it on Fox News.
Why don't you just add OAN and Newsmax to that?
Oh okay. Man. Oh God.
Look, I agree with you. I don't really believe that it was.
It was story. It was a really bad story. It was a bad story.
I suppose all I could say for Wonder Woman 84 is that I wish had a better story. I guess all I had to do was just wish it.
Yeah, I mean, if you had to really want it.
If you wished it,
if you wished it, it would have worked.
It could happen. All you have to do is just wish it.
It was a bad story.
It's too bad. I mean, that's all I can say. The first Wonder Woman, I thought it was through the roof. I can honestly say that even Aquaman, even that movie, it wasn't what the first Wonder Woman was. But you know what? I wanted to see the rest of it as soon as it got through the first quarter introduction of the stuff. I still wanted to finish it, so that makes it an entertaining effort. It's so sad to see Warner Brothers struggling with DC the way it is. Because DC is just such a great group of villains and heroes.
It really is.
I've already been through this debate earlier this week. Okay. But if I had to pick between Marvel Comics and DC Comics, it's going to be DC Comics hands down. I'm sorry, hands down. Because the characters are far more complex. They are far better. Just bottom line.
Well, it has longevity, right? It really has.
It does. It really does.
It has more longevity. But they believe that the original Wonder Woman movie being very good, that critics believe that this is what was going to save the Justice League franchise in its current iteration. That's what they believed.
That's done.
But we haven't seen anything groundbreaking since. We had Justice League, which was a big disappointment. We have the Bryan Singer one coming out in March.
No.
And I'm not very optimistic on that, but I don't.
That's incorrect. It's not Bryan Singer.
Oh, who is it? I'm sorry.
Oh,
Uh, um,
it's not Bryan.
who is it?
It's Josh Whedon.
Oh, Josh. No, I
No,
thought
wait, no, not Josh Whedon. No. Zack Snyder.
Zack Snyder.
The Snyder
I'm
Cut.
sorry. I'm sorry. I was thinking of the original Superman.
Right?
Yeah,
Singer hasn't done anything since Superman Returns.
yeah. Singer hasn't done anything Marvel or DC since then, but everyone believed that was going to save its the current iteration, and it didn't. It really didn't, because it was a one shot, and they didn't follow on with really good movies. Aquaman was pretty good, but then you have like these other side movies like Suicide Squad, and then the Harley Quinn movie which were just god awful. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Well,
now,
Suicide Squad, I wouldn't put it with god awful.
I didn't think it was that great, but here's the thing. You're asking the wrong person, because I can't appreciate the Suicide Squad movies because I really didn't appreciate the comics as well. And that franchise in the DC universe is a spin-off. It's a spin-off of misfit characters. And I just wasn't a fan of any of those characters, really. It's just one of my personal preferences, so it was really hard for me to get into that.
The movie just did a very poor job of honing in on the badassery that Suicide Squad was, because that's what Suicide Squad was. It was Amanda Waller picking the baddest ass villains that she could to take out a group of. She just felt that she needed the top of the cream of the crop of villains to take out the villains in the city, and
right.
that whole mythos of it was just missed. But coming back to the Star Wars side from the Wonder Woman 84 effort, bottom line is Rogue Squadron is a big deal with Star Wars fans. Now, let's be real. Let's be real about this. You already have a whole community full now of pissed off Star Wars fans. I have seen it online. It is ridiculous the amount of complaints that the sequel trilogy is getting. And I'm not saying that the sequel trilogy was great. It wasn't. But at the main meat of it is that it's still Star Wars. These guys are just coming out trashing the entire thing. And
they're not holding back anymore. They're just they're not.
I get that they feel the way they do, and I get that. But you're kind of throwing a wrench into the whole fandom of the whole thing by being so aggressive on it. But I mean, state your opinion on it, but you don't gotta just trash the franchise over it. But that's
there's tons of memes that kill it. So much so
don't
that
remind me.
I think that the disappointment of the sequel trilogies have gained a new interest in the fan base, in some of the fan base for the prequel trilogies. We have a new appreciation for it now, because we saw how bad it could be done, and now we look back and it wasn't so bad. Maybe, it's kind of like the whole, well, I guess Bush wasn't so bad.
Well, I mean, I think it depends which of the prequels you're talking about, because I mean, if you're talking about Episode 1, where I got a 45-minute pod race,
right? But the Darth Maul duel was its saving grace.
I got 40 minutes of a bungling fool who couldn't shut up.
Wait a minute.
No.
What's Misa saying?
Yes, Jar Jar Clinks.
I got 40 minutes of that. So I mean, when you figure I got 180 minutes of that, I mean, instead of, I got 180 minutes of that garbage versus 15 minutes of what was supposed to be the most badass Sith Lord that we had seen since Episode 4. And I only got 15 minutes of him.
Yeah, but we got some really good music out of it. I posted some pretty fire memes on our Facebook page with John Williams, his music, and then like as soon as the second lightsaber comes out, and it has a guy with that trumpet with the fire coming out of it.
Well, there you have it, folks. There's a summation of the prequels. We got
there you
some
go.
really good music out of it. So
Yep.
now, I suggest to Patty Jenkins. Yes, Patty, I'm talking to you.
We talk directly to these people.
I know that you're not. I know that you're right now watching the camera, listening to me intently, and I'm telling you
because we have so much influence on this franchise.
Absolutely, I'm not asking you. I'm telling you, do not screw this project up. Don't do it, because you could irreparably damage the franchise permanently if you don't get this project done right.
You know what, Brian? I got to tell you. So with you saying that, I think this is what we want, and I think this is what we deserve. I think we've earned this, right, for being such loyal fans for such a long time. Is when George Lucas made his Star Wars movies, that was his life for the entirety of production, editing, marketing, promotion, release. That was his life. Exactly. That was his life, right? That's why he couldn't do it anymore. I mean, and that's why he stopped and said, "Hey, you know what? Okay, cool. I did episode 1 through 3. That took a decade out of me."
Movies.
Yeah, it took 2 decades out of his life to make these 6 movies. And Disney takes over with their vast amount of resources and money, and they could get as many people as they want. They could get the right directors, but this is what we deserve, and this is what we want. We want someone. I'm not saying someone take 10 years out of their entire life to make this movie, but give us the dedication that George Lucas did. Give us that. Pour your heart and soul into these films because that's what we deserve. We deserve no less than that. It may not be perfect, but at least it has that passion, that desire, right? Because we earned that crap, man. Come on, give me a break. This is not Care Bears or just simple G.I. Joe. This is Star Wars, man. We deserve the best.
The teaser that she and Disney put out at the finance meeting, she is walking in a flight suit to an X-Wing. If you were going to put, and she used the words Top Gun being one of her favorite films, if you're going to attach Top Gun, if you're going to walk to an X-Wing in a jumpsuit from a Rogue Squadron pilot, we want dogfighting, we want classic dogfighting, we want heroic pilots, we want Red Leader, Gold Leader, we want Biggs Darklighter, we want Wedge Antilles, we want Porkins. You better deliver.
Oh, we want Porkins.
You have got to go find people to go cast these people. You've got to go find them, and you got to deliver on this stuff. Bottom line, that's it. There's nothing in between. There's nothing in between. The film cannot fall short of this stuff because, man, if it does, I mean, look at what we saw in Rogue One, right? The battle above Scarif that was in space. I mean, I nearly shed tears on that. You're bringing up pork.
It's a sexy man right there. That's a whole lot of man right there. Yeah,
one of the heroes of Rogue Squadron, man.
Yeah, we need Porkins.
You've got to have them. I just really hope that she recognizes all this stuff and this gets delivered. You're freaking me out with that, by the way. I mean, I'm just, you're like Bob, and what about Bob right now? Can you just stop doing that?
It's 2021. You can't be asking me these questions.
So, man, do not fall short of it. Do not on this. I mean, this project is huge. It's important. We never got the next gen Rogue Squadron game that we wanted. We still have to go back to GameCube to play it.
Because we have to do it in first person view now. And no, sorry, man.
I'm assuming you're referring to Squadrons.
Yeah,
by
Squadrons by EA. Yeah. So yeah. I am so glad that they lost the exclusivity rights to the Star Wars games. I am
Yep.
So happy.
They're not out of the.
They're not out of it, but they lost
they're not out of it, but
they lost exclusivity.
they're not going to be the only candy store in town anymore, which is probably what it should have been to start with. But now you're going to have Lucas Games division in addition to Lucasfilm, and Ubisoft is coming on board. And with Ubisoft coming on board, now there's talk of a. They're saying that it's a Knights of the Old Republic game. Now, I'm not gonna get on board with that narrative because, one, you can't have Knights of the Old Republic anymore right now because they've already
not with that attitude.
Because they've already transitioned to High Republic.
The High Republic, huh?
You knew about the High Republic. We talked about it.
Yeah, man, I know about the High Republic, man.
We talked about it last summer. You knew it was coming.
Yes, I knew it was coming. But they were doing the comic thing, right? They were doing some comics on High Republic.
Yes, but the point being is,
all right, it's enough.
High Republic is now canon.
Hold on,
High Republic is now canon, which is what the storyline of Knights of the Old Republic was to be, which is the ancient Jedi Knights thousands of years ago.
All right, I had to get rid of that. Sorry, I was getting too sexually aroused. Sorry, carry on.
Wow. So that being the case, you can't really make a Knights of the Old Republic game if there's no canon for it. So I mean,
oh, now we're gonna bring up canon. Oh, okay. Really?
How do you not bring up canon?
Yes. No. Dude, you could do whatever. It's obvious you can do whatever you want. Kathleen Kennedy did whatever she wanted to do, and that's why we have the sequel trilogies right now. There was plenty of canon to go around, and then this.
Oh, there was not. No, there was not plenty of canon to go around.
Yes, we had this discussion already, man, about the books and expanded universe.
It's exactly that. What did they before Episode 7 was even in production? After they purchased the franchise from Lucas, what was the first thing they did?
They tossed it all out. They tossed all that, all the expanded universe out.
So you cannot pull from that anymore.
You could. You totally could. Why not? Or have your own variant of it. I mean, there were some really great stories.
They've done it with the animated stuff. They've brought Thrawn into it. They did that. They've done it with the animated stuff. But it's, I mean, they were not going to pull like Jason and Jaina Solo.
I think Jason's a really good name. I don't know why they didn't.
I bet you think it. By the way, it's spelled J.
I know how it's spelled. It's not spelled like my name. Right. Yes, I know that. Anyway,
they whether you like it or not, they did pull from elements of that into the sequel trilogy. You can say what you want, but they did pull from.
See what happens when you disagree with me? You freeze. In carbonite. Sorry, you froze there for a second.
The expanded universe books by Timothy Zahn discussed offspring of Han and Leia. Did Han and Leia have offspring in the sequel trilogy? Yes.
Yes,
they did. Okay.
Yes, Adam Driver.
Was
Marine.
Was there an Imperial remnant that was still out there trying to reform itself with a new republic? Yes. Those were both prevalent in the Timothy Zahn story. There were elements taken. So, to me, it's just you can't say that they didn't reference them because they did.
Well, okay. So it's just I keep getting upset when I hear that excuse that Kathleen Kennedy gave us. Right. Well, we had nothing to go on. We didn't have comic books. We had no canon. We had nothing. You had plenty. You really did. You just chose to ignore it. Okay, that's cool. It's not my place to say that. Or maybe it is, because I'm a consumer. But that's why we have this show, so we can openly criticize without any real repercussions. My Twitter account is still active.
I mean...
Oh, man. That'd be so awesome. I could go up to Trump and just say, hey, man, I got something you don't. A Twitter account.
You know,
And we lost all our viewers. I'm kidding.
You might. Oh no,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
There's still 5 million left because I mean we only lost 75.
Oh, we lost. Yeah, exactly.
Like, look, all 75 million by the way that watch. But look, sometimes I think those guys out there that are part of the whole anti-sequel movement. I mean, why not just go buddy up with them and get on the different.
I guess
if
I
you
could.
feel
I
that
guess
strongly about it.
Well, I guess I could because I'm just. Maybe I'm choosing to ignore it. I'm choosing to ignore it by focusing on the prequels and looking forward to Obi-Wan and Hayden Christensen coming back. That's what I'm looking forward to. Now, from what I heard, and maybe I'm wrong, Obi-Wan is only going to be 6 episodes, but each episode is going to be is going to be an hour long. Did you hear that?
So Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan.
I don't care if it's a 6 episode deal.
Okay.
It's still to me starting off on the wrong foot.
Because of the whole sand and Tatooine thing. Yes, I know. Yes, blah,
not
blah,
just
blah.
that, not just that. Now, in addition to that, in addition to being challenged by a single location, which is where they are.
Right.
In addition to that problem, you now have them saying, well, back Hayden Christensen, and we're going to have him reprise Darth Vader. Okay, so that means that we are not going to see nor hear Hayden Christensen, because if he's reprising Darth Vader, I don't want to see Hayden Christensen. I want to see Darth Vader.
Well,
Soup.
Okay.
Which means I'm going to hear James Earl Jones.
I hope we hear James Earl Jones. But here's what you can
no,
also...
but,
here,
I mean, they're bringing Hayden Christensen.
But here's what could happen. Here's what could happen. They show the portions of Order 66 when... what we didn't see, right? The parts that we didn't see. All we saw him go into the Jedi Temple, do a couple things, and then kill kids. I mean, we saw that. But there's more may have happened leading up to that point.
How's that?
I don't know. I'm saying it may. I'm saying it could.
How does the timeline allow for it?
I don't know. I didn't time what was going on. I mean, it just could have been.
Well, let me do it for you. So he's at Palpatine's office. Mm-hmm. He just got knighted as a Sith Lord, and then he tells him to go to the Jedi Temple. That's his first order. Temple. Yes, that's his first order. To go to the Jedi Temple and eliminate the Jedi that are there. That's his first order.
Once more, the Sith.
Sorry.
So, how much time does he have between going to Palpatine's office and going to the Jedi Temple to make any additional stops? The heck are you talking about?
I don't know. Maybe he had to, maybe stop up 7-Eleven. Maybe he had to pee. Maybe he wanted a churro. Who knows? Who knows?
After the Jedi Temple and then after he's in the suit, sure, there's time to go other planets and find surviving Jedi and go thrash them. There's plenty of time for that. After he's in the suit.
All right. Look, we can get into timelines later, but...
It's not even that hard. Look, you can't aerodynamic your way out of this. It's not difficult at all. Okay?
It's not that hard. It's not that hard. I got it.
Palpatine's office, one knee, you're Darth Vader, get up, go to the Jedi Temple.
Darth Vader.
He's not going to take a fighter flight like to some other planet in between, and he's going to the temple first.
God, you are such a buzzkill, man. Have fun with it. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be Hayden Christensen's back. He's gonna do something. Maybe he still has his. I don't know. How old is he at that point in Episode 3? Estimated 20 something.
18, 19.
Oh, he became Vader at 19?
Well, in Episode 2, he's 18.
Okay, so
and then not a whole lot of time elapses between 2 and 3, maybe a year at most. So he's 19, max 20.
Oh man, he became Darth Vader before he could even drink. Dang, pour up, son. It's your birthday. Anyways,
pretty sure he was drinking before 21. I'm
pretty sure. Anyways, Brian, I know we got to cut it short today, but this was a good welcome back show. 2021 is going to be great. We're going to have so much stuff to talk about.
Yep.
I know that there's going to be a lot of other things coming out on other streaming services, and we can touch on that later too. But we'll get to that. We'll get to the cheap seats eventually. I'm sorry I got caught up with a couple things, but we'll eventually get to that. But anyways, so we'll be back roughly around the same. It fluctuates our times on Mondays. I mean, but as long as we do it on Mondays, I'm cool. And I think everybody else is cool with that too. So we'll do the Mondays, and so we'll kick off 2021 on a high note here, and we'll just look forward to some of the new stuff that's coming out. I haven't done a whole lot of research yet, but I will. I'll spend some time on Reddit and look up Star
What a
Wars.
shock!
Well, all right, man. Well, Happy New Year, belated.
Happy New Year.
And it was the princess's birthday, so belated happy birthday to her. Hope everybody saw the little crawl that I put on there for her on our on our Facebook page.
That was positively awesome.
It's cool, right? I found that online.
Yes.
I was like, oh, cool, I can do this real quick, and I did it while I was at work, so it was great. So we'll see everybody next week. We'll yubn up out of here. Everybody stay safe. Get your vaccines if you can. Mask up. Wash your hands. Wear condoms. Bye.
Yub nub.
If I can find it.
Oh Lord.